Welcome back to my kitchen, Real Women of Philadelphia. My name is Sarah, and today it's a really cold and rainy day in Victoria. So I'm going to be cooking with Philly, and I'm going to be doing a really creamy, delicious dessert for you. It's going to be a rice pudding parfait, and I'm going to incorporate some of my favorite flavors, other than Philly, of course, but Philly will definitely be featured: strawberries and chocolate. So I'm just going to get started on the basic rice pudding recipe. I've already cooked half a cup of short grain white rice, and it's doubled to be a full cup now that it's cooked. I use short grain rice just because it has the most starch in it, so it's going to give the most creamy texture to my rice pudding. But because we're using Philly today, you could use any type of rice because Philly is going to make this rice pudding so easy and so creamy and so delicious. So I'm just going to add my cooked rice to a pot on the stove, and it has a cup of milk, a quarter cup of sugar, and a pinch of salt. Then I'll put the lid on, and it will only take about 20 minutes, and I'll be right back. So these are the glasses that I've chosen to fill up with my rice pudding parfaits. I'm going to put a little bit of my chocolate rice pudding on the bottom, then a layer of strawberries that are just going to be fresh and crushed with a little bit of sugar, then another layer of some of my chocolate rice pudding, then a little bit of whipped cream, and just top it with another couple of fresh strawberries. So while my rice pudding is working its magic, I'm just going to start getting the layer of the strawberries and sugar all mashed up. So I've got about a cup of fresh strawberries here and 2 tablespoons of sugar. Now I'm just going to take my fork and mash them up. As you can see, my pre-cooked rice has now cooked even more. It's gotten sweet, it's gotten delicious and creamy, and it's soaked up all of the mixture that was in this pot: the milk, the sugar, and a little bit of salt. You could use rice that's left over from the night before for this recipe, or you could use rice that you make right before you start the recipe. I today just made this rice before I started the recipe. So now I'll add my cocoa, my Philadelphia cream cheese light, an egg, and I'll just get it all finished. Not long now until I can layer up my parfaits in my little champagne glasses with my strawberries and my whipped cream. So I have an extra half cup milk, 2 tablespoons of cocoa, and I'll stir this in, and then I'll get my Philadelphia cream cheese light and my beaten egg stirred in. So now I'll add 1/3 of a cup of Philadelphia cream cheese light and my beaten egg, and I'll stir constantly on medium heat for 2 minutes, and then my rice pudding's done. My rice pudding's fully cooked, but I just had a taste and I think it can use a little bit of extra flavor. So I'm going to get some nutmeg out and grate a little bit in. My rice pudding's all done. It's such a delicious chocolatey flavor, and then when I mixed it with my crushed fresh strawberries, whipped cream, and strawberries on top, they are going to be delicious. All my friends are going to love this dessert. So I'll just get started in layering up my parfaits, and then I'll have a taste. I didn't crush the strawberries too much because I just want to have the sweet natural flavor, and I love the texture of strawberries as well. Just a little bit more of my rice pudding on top. And now for some whipped cream. And one last fresh strawberry. So there you have it, my Philly chocolate rice pudding parfait. It looks good enough to eat, and I think I'm gonna have to just do that. A little bit of everything on this spoon. Well, that's heaven in a glass. I hope that you enjoyed this recipe, and I hope that you'll try it yourself one day. Thanks for watching.